Hello, this is Sanjay and Suman, and today we're going to be talking about the use of human embryos as a source of stem cells for brain diseases. The article we're using for this is published in the International Journal of Health Science and is titled The Role of Stem Cells in Treatment of Neurological Disorders. This was written in July 2009 by Ashfaq ul-Hassan, Ghulam Hassan, and Zahira Rasul.
Before we talk about the issue, we first need to understand what embryonic stem cells are, and how they can be used for the treatment of brain diseases. The embryo is essentially an unborn offspring in the early ages of development. For humans, this is during the 2nd and 8th week after fertilization. Stem cells are the cells of a multicellular organism capable of creating multiple clones of itself through the process of mitosis. When combining the two together, we get embryonic stem cells, which are stem cells harvested from human embryos that are 3 to 5 days old. They are gathered during a process called in vitro fertilization. This involves fertilizing an embryo in a laboratory instead of inside the female body. Moreover, embryonic stem cells are known as pluripotent stem cells. This means that these stem cells can divide into virtually any other type of cell in the body without limit, whether it be a blood cell or a muscle cell. Embryonic stem cells are different to adult stem cells in this manner, as adult stem cells are multipotent and can only develop into a limited amount of cells. Although they can be easily derived from the bone marrow via aspiration, it is difficult to identify and derive stem cells from solid organs such as the brain.
Using stem cells as a source for brain diseases is heavily related to genetics. As described previously, embryonic stem cells are pluripotent, so they don't have any particular role in the body until they are differentiated into special cells such as skin cells or liver cells. These stem cells can also divide into more stem cells if needed through the process of mitosis. So how and when do these stem cells divide or differentiate? Well, let's first consider that all cells in the body use the same DNA. However, different cells utilize different parts of the DNA through gene expression. Gene expression is like turning certain genes on and certain genes off based on their role in the body. However, in stem cells, these genes are only expressed when certain transcription factors transcribe the DNA into mRNA. In the laboratory, these embryonic stem cells can be specialized through the use of environmental factors which turn certain genes on and others off, resulting in a replacement for a damaged or dead cell, and in our case, brain cells. As we speak, scientists are researching new ways of creating different brain cells to aid patients with brain diseases.
The discovery of embryonic stem cells is important for the repair of brain diseases, as it gives us another potential way to treat brain diseases in the near future. Embryonic stem cells are already promising radical new treatments for cancer, immune-related diseases, and other medical conditions, and this may someday be extended to repairing and replenishing the brain. Research shows that these stem cells migrate to damaged areas in order to fix them, and multiple studies say this can be really effective towards diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Initial research already shows promising results for certain diseases such as multiple sclerosis by improving the person's range and quality of motions in the extremities, normalizing muscle tone, decreasing fatigue and general weakness, and improving quality of life. This is further supported by a study conducted in February 2002, where researchers exposed the spinal cord of a rat and therefore paralyzed its limbs and upper body. Stem cells were then injected into the rat, and the motor function of the rat improved substantially in as little as a week. If similar results can be found in humans, the treatment of implementing stem cells can be used to treat Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, stroke, and several other diseases at a very fast rate.
Although more prominent in elderly populations, brain diseases are widespread and can affect anyone. In 2016, dementia, Alzheimer's, and cerebrovascular disease were three of the most infamous diseases, accounting for 8,918 deaths for males and 12,659 deaths for females. Neurological disorders account for over 6.8 million deaths a year, according to a 2007 UN report. And this number is only set to increase unless suitable treatments are devised. Furthermore, a recent report released by the Federal Interagency Forum on Aging-Related Statistics states that 35.8% of those 85 or older have moderate or severe memory impairment. To add oil to this fire, this age group is also the fastest growing age group, which would only result in a higher proportion of the population suffering from some sort of brain disease.
Although treatment via embryonic stem cells would be highly beneficial to cure these diseases, there is a very big ethical consideration which comes into play with it. The act of fertilizing an egg and in turn developing embryo for these stem cells is a very similar situation to abortion. In this case, you have to either choose to let the embryo develop or let it die and be used for the treatment of another person. Of course, it can also be argued that an embryo is not a living thing yet, which is also another point which comes up on the ethicality of abortion. However, this may not have to be an issue in the near future, as embryonic stem cells may be able to be extracted from an embryo at a vitro fertilization clinic before being placed in a woman's uterus, thus allowing it to still be used for embryo adoption. The experimental basis of stem cell or OEC transplantation must also be sound before these techniques are applied to humans with neurological disorders. Economically speaking, embryonic stem cells are expensive to harvest and require a lot of care and attention. Therefore, it is unlikely that many people would be able to afford this treatment when it initially enters as a possible cure for brain diseases. However, it is expected that over the decades, the cost would decrease as well as seen with other treatments in the past. Moreover, stem cell treatment possesses a huge risk in the current environment as it is in its developing stages. Since embryonic stem cells are from an external embryo, it is likely to be rejected and may cause unwanted side effects. However, with more research, these risks will continue to decrease. The three questions we still have on the topic are: to what extent can stem cells be used to regenerate cells in the brain? For example, can it retrieve memory for people with Alzheimer's disease? Is stem cell treatment for brain disease a temporary or permanent treatment? And what are the potential risks of stem cell treatment?
Brain diseases continue to be a huge problem in today's world, especially for the older population, and scientists are continuing to tackle this issue. With recent advancements in the use of embryonic stem cells, scientists are hoping to make viable treatments to ease or cure these brain diseases. Thank you for watching the documentary.